think it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. Okay, so right now I'm doing some yard work that needs to be done because they just exterminated today, and I want to get some of the leaves away from the house because I don't want anything walking into the house. It doesn't belong in the house. You know, the uninvited guest. But oh, sorry, my nose is just, my allergies are so bad because I'm allergic to grass and trees. So yeah, I'm allergic to everything that's out here. But what I wanted to, I was thinking about perseverance, the word perseverance, and I was thinking about what it means. You know what preservatives are? They are the things that they put in food to keep it to last, right? To stay longer, and people can, you know, eat it longer. It'll stay fresh longer. Preservatives. Well, I was thinking to myself how the Bible tells us. I was reading James, and for those of you who, you know, don't read the Bible, you know, or don't believe in God, it doesn't mean that what I'm saying is not true or important. It's just a matter of, it's just a matter of how you look at it, okay? So for instance, the thing that I'm reading actually tells us it's a message, and I believe it's a message that we need to think about. A message, okay? It talks about trials and tribulations, and I am talking specifically about James 1, trials and temptations. The very beginning, it talks about James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes scattered among the nations. Greetings. Greetings. Okay, hold on. Be quiet, Ella. Sorry, I forgot my music's on. Hold on. Okay, so what it says here about trials and temptations. It says, "Consider it a pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know the testing of your faith develops." You know, that perseverance. Okay, maybe we don't want that strength. Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we feel like we're strong enough as it is. You know, maybe we feel like we're tired of showing how strong we are and how we can, you know, keep going through it all. You know, we want to break, you know, we want to break. But this keeps coming and coming. But that's when we need to hold on to faith, and we need to say to ourselves that we believe that there's a reason that things are happening the way they're happening. And not only do we believe that there's a reason, but we also know that it's for our own good, whether it's for I don't know what we need to be all this preserved for, but maybe it's to see who the strong are, who the faithful are. I don't know. That's not I don't have the answers to it all. But it says here, perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Well, there's my answer. Apparently, I need a lot of tribulations, and I need a lot of, you know, hardships to be complete, because I'm not complete yet. If I was, I'd probably be not still fighting this journey that I'm going through. But I'm trying to figure out, you know, whatever it is that I'm figuring out. And I know that I want to love better. I want to learn the right way to love. And I want to love without expectations. And that's hard. So we are pretty much figuring all that out. That's trash. Oh, is that recycles? Okay, just making sure, because those recycle men are very tenacious. Okay, so If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously. God is the most generous person in the world to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. The man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all he does. So, if you are thinking like, I wonder if he's really going to listen to me. I wonder if he's really gonna like, you know, then you're doubting. You're doubting Thomas, you know. And hello. He wants to say hi. So, if you want to do that, you know, then he wants to say hi too. Hello. He wants to say hi too. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, then, you know, you're going to be unstable, basically. The brother in humble circumstances ought to take pride in his position, but the one who is rich should take pride in his low position, because he will pass away like a wild flower. For the sun rises with scorching heat. Oh, we all know that right now here out in Texas, and I'm trying to do my yard stuff, and my animals take care of my little farm. Okay. And withers the plant. I need to go water my plant. It blossoms, falls, and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich man will fade away even while he goes about his business. And if you have money and you are, you know, enjoying it, you're not a bad person. Don't take it that way. What it's saying is, you know, those that think that they're just so rich that, you know, that they're just selfish, basically, and they don't give to others. I don't know any of y'all who are like that. Everybody that I know who is financially well off, or, you know, you work hard for your money and you're very giving, that does not mean you, okay? That's not what it's saying here. So sometimes when people read the Bible, they like to take its words and just twist them around, you know? And sometimes the Bible tells you what you need to hear. So I may hear something completely different than you, and everybody's message is different. So I think it's important that even though, like, you know, I'm sharing whatever it is that I'm sharing with you, you know, I think you still need to pick up your Bible and figure out if, you know, what it says to you, the message that it's telling you, you know, because it could be a completely different message, okay? The other thing that it says is, blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. So, it may seem like, Lord, I cannot take any more. This life is hard. I'm going through just too much, you know, and I'm suffering. A lot of people suffer, you know, like my grandma. She was so looking forward to her retirement. She was hardworking, and everything was like, wait until I retire, wait until I retire. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have this house that she saved up for, you know, saved up for this wonderful house. Wanted to live out in the country, dreamed that her grandchildren's grandchildren, because, you know, we're all that young, would be visiting her and jumping in her little pool. Well, when I was 18, she called me. We were going to go to my little cousin's baseball game, and she's like, you want to go with me? Well, of course, me being the little 18-year-old teen I wanted to sleep, so I didn't go with her, which is probably a good thing, because I don't know if I would have wanted to remember that day. If, from what I heard, she got a very bad headache and an aneurysm in her brain. She was gone. She had a few months till retirement, from what I was told, or maybe she was just right around the corner. I don't know if it was months, weeks, whatever. That's not the point. The point is that kind of like the putting your eggs in one basket. People want to work so hard and they want to wait and they want things to be a certain way. And they think then that, you know, they're going to find their joy. Who knows? All I know is that my grandma did work very, very hard. And she didn't get what she planned. And we don't get what we planned because it's not up to us. We have a life that we lead, and it's going to be God's plan no matter what. So my thing is, enjoy today. Now, when my grandma probably had her little glorious entrance in the heavenly gates, I'm sure that was completely even better than that retirement plan. But that's not what she was working for, or was she? You know? I think that we should think about our life, and not just our life, but those around us. And even though we think like some people will say, all I need is this, all I need is that to be happy, all I need is this and then I'll be happy. No, that's not the truth. You know, that's not the truth at all. True happiness will be when you are crowned by the Lord. Until then, let's just all help each other survive. When tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. Remember, we have free will. That's what Jesus was about, right? Free will. We have a choice. But each one is tempted when, by his own evil desire, he is dragged away and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Don't be deceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, and that we may be kind of first fruits of his creation. That's the first thing, talking about trials and temptations. The second thing, ooh, it's hot out here, is talking about listening and doing. Very short, but I want to read it. My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. For man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires. Okay, that is really, really hard, because I have, they say that anger and depression is the same thing. It just depends. It's like a quarter. Do you want to show heads or do you want to show tails? So one side's anger, the other side is depression. So if you know somebody who is very, very depressed, they are turning it inward, basically, to themselves. But the angry people, same thing. It's just they're showing it out to the outside world. Now, when I talk to somebody in particular, it is very easy for me to be angry with this person, because I feel like I was just done wrong, you know. But I need to stop, and I need to stop being angry, and I need to stop thinking about that my own anger. And you know, they always say put yourself in somebody else's shoes. It's not easy, but to me, it's the way. It's the way to try to do that, because I think if you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you probably would lose a little bit of the anger and get a little bit more understanding. Therefore, get rid of all moral filth and the evil that is so prevalent, and humbly accept the word planted in you, which can save you. Do not merely listen to the word, and do not deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like a man who looks at his face in a mirror, and after looking at himself goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. But the man who looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom and continues to do this, not forgetting what he has heard, but doing it, he will be blessed in what he does. If anyone considers himself religious and yet does not keep a tight rein on his tongue, he deceives himself, and his religion is worthless. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress and keep oneself from being polluted by the world. I touched on that a little bit when all this stuff was happening with the immigration, just because it has to do with widows and orphans. And it's basically saying that we're here to help out one another. We're here to be here for one another. I think I got really hurt because one of my friends told me something really, really sad today. Very painful. Like, almost, it made me feel like if I wasn't enough just being me, I had to do something else. And like, I was just, I don't know, like I was a fault in their life, you know? And that's sad. That's sad, because who wants to feel like that, you know? Whew, hot. Especially when they're already feeling shitty. So the best thing to do is, you know, let people know how you feel. They can realize it, or they can continue to blame, you know, whatever it is, reason that they feel like, you know, they're sad or angry or hurt or whatever. And I think my thing that I'm working on right now is trying to put myself in the other person's shoe. So I've been trying to work on that today and see from their point of view what they may have felt like, you know. And so I think that when I do that, it allows me to love more and understand more, even if it's not about me. But hopefully, you know, I'll get that in return. And if I don't get it in return, it's okay, because what did I say on my last video? That it's not about, you don't give because of what you want to receive. You give because you want to love, and you want to give just to give. So I don't know, maybe for some people, you know, what you give is not enough for them, you know, and they want more. Or maybe they're just so like frustrated, you know, because they want to help you. I know a lot of my friends are messaging me and asking me how I'm doing, and I love you for that. It's really hard because I don't want to act like things are okay when they're not, and I don't want to bring people down, and I don't want to make people worry about me. I'm a very caring person. Everybody knows that about me. And so I keep to myself a lot, and I'm the type of person that, you know, when I left my marriage of 20 years, I didn't tell my family. I slept in my van for, I don't know how long it was, but I wanted to do it my way and not hurt people, and everybody was shocked, you know. But the thing is that sometimes I have to let people in. I understand, and I am. That's why I have visited with a few selective people, very selective people that I love, that have been a part of my life for a very long time. I am not just like going out meeting people like, hey, what's up, you know. No, that's not me. So if I've seen you recently, I hope to see you again, and I hope, because you really helped me get through the next day. It's been a hard month, really hard, because with the whole situation with me and what's been going on with me and Gus, is it's like we both completely in love with each other, completely love each other, have fun with each other, respect each other, and then all of a sudden, you know, the mental illness comes about and somebody else comes out, you know, for a little bit, not forever, for a little bit, and then I don't know how to deal with it. You know, maybe I have abandonment issues, you know, that I've had since I was young, and I don't want to be left over and over, you know, and so that's something I have to deal with. Maybe I'm being selfish, I don't know, or maybe I just deserve to feel like somebody won't leave me. And that's what this is about, learning who's not going to leave me and who's not going to say, if you can't do this and you can't do that, you're out, you know. Then that's what I think it's about.